amazing host leading the ride. Ride along live, worldwide. Feel the beat, feel the vibe. Amazing host leading the ride. Power to the people we shine. Giving fans what they need. Caribbean spirit, let's succeed. Every show with a good deed. Together we plant the seed. Ride along. Join the dance, let's sing the song. From island to island strong. With the host, we belong. Energy high, heart so bright. Tune in, feel the light. Global love taking flight. Every ride a sheer delight. Making waves across the seas. Love and joy in the breeze. Ride along live if you please. Bringing hope with such ease. Ride along. Join the dance, let's sing the song. From island to island strong. With the host, we belong. Energy high, heart so bright. Tune in, feel the light. Global love taking flight. Every ride a sheer delight. Making waves across the seas. Love and joy in the breeze. Ride along live if you please. Bringing hope with such ease. Ride along. Join the dance, let's sing the song.
Time to do better. Beacon's Be Better Group Health Plan now offers new and improved options that make health insurance affordable for small to medium businesses. Good medical cover gives you a competitive edge and takes care of the people that take care of your business. Get a better plan to build a better business. Call Beacon or log on to beacon.co.tt for more info today.
To rent a car in Grenada? Welcome to Ride Car Rental, offering efficient, time-saving service with affordable rates and 100% paperless rentals. Whether you're visiting or need a quick ride, we've got you covered. Call now at 473-422-1011 and get behind the wheel today. Ride Car Rental, where convenience meets the road.
Yeah.
Ride along live, worldwide. Feel the beat, feel the vibe. Amazing host leading the ride.
Yeah.
Power to the people we
As you come and go ahead and share the program. Welcome to Ride Along Live for today. It's Tuesday.
Spirit, let's succeed.
Yes. Tuesday is dedicated to our viewers. Tuesday is dedicated to you, our viewers. You know why? Because we understand. Hey, Yulene, how you doing? Make up yourself. Thank you so much. At followers, everybody. Tuesday is dedicated to our viewers because we understand there are so much things happening in this world, right? And oftentimes, you might see things, you might come across things on social media, in your personal life, on the street, that pisses you off. Like you get a real upset. Yeah? It go to your head. You're just freaking upset. You're mad. You're angry. So before you take it out physically, we want you to come here and let it out. Angry. Right? Right here. Yeah. So that's why Tuesday is for our viewers. It's what's pissing you off on the Tuesday. And let me tell you something. I have my share of things that piss me off on a daily basis. All right, everybody tag somebody. Let me tell you, today we have a guest, Django, who is going to be chatting with us on a range of things that's pissing him off. But let me tell you what's stuck in my craw. And I oftentimes, guys, you know, I'm a very kind of cool kind of guy. I try to really don't, you know, show that type of emotion. I have it. I get pissed off as everybody else. But here what pissed me off this week, guys. Pissed me off, right? Now, there are a set of people out there, right, that means absolutely no good. They mean absolutely no good. I mean, they would criticize every single thing. If you tell them the sky is blue, and you look outside and the sky is blue. No, for them, the sky is red. Even if the sky is blue, yeah, it don't matter. So this certain individual, right? This certain individual jumped into my inbox. I realized that the person was kind of provoking, right? He's not anyone that should provoke, but let me tell you why it really irked me, that particular individual. So you guys know we're doing a new venture. With the Right Tuk Tuk is something new that we bring in, a new way, a new option of tours. And this is what we do. Since last year, we invested heavily in the tour operation in Grenada, right? So we launched this new excursion, Tuk Tuk Ride, which, listen, by the way, international news agencies are actually writing about the venture, which means that people from all over the world would now find another option when it comes to Grenada. So we heavily invested in it, and we continue to heavily invest in it. So this particular individual, guy started to talk about how our venture, right, of bringing these tuk-tuks and providing jobs, over 20 people employed, and more would be employed by the venture, of how it's diverting or changing culture because we are introducing new products to the market. Now, how dumb could you be? Like you have to be not only dumb, you had. And the funny thing about it is, it's not what he said, It's not what he said that really pissed me off. It's people's response. And they're not responding from a good place. They're not responding from a sensible place, They're responding and giving him chorus as if what he's saying makes sense, right? Instead of people turn to it and say, listen, we commend what you're doing, but this is what you could do to make it better. I don't mind that. Yes, we want recommendation, right? Because we are not perfect. We're not saying that all of our ventures is perfect. Just like when we started ride e-bike excursions and tours, before I landed in Grenada, before I opened up the doors and accepted my first customer in Grenada, this knucklehead of a person jumped up and say, listen, don't support it, because you know why? He's gonna catch a fire and all kind of nonsense, right? Complete nonsense. Yes, we agree and accept that it happened before, but you never came to me and asked me what are some of the measures that we've taken to ensure that what happened there in sporadic places don't happen here. We went through immense safety checks to get this thing here. Nobody spoke to me about it, but instead they made that criticism then. It didn't affect the business, however, because a lot of people, after they heard the individual, they came up to me and they looked at the bike and they be like, well, I don't see how your bike could catch a fire. 9 months later, guys, after I employed over 7 individuals working for the company, paying full-time, staff, taxes, everything in Grenada, nothing of the sort happened. There was no fire. There was none of that stuff. And the business is successful. It only made sense after observing the tourism sector for an entire year. We saw additional upgrades and things that could be put into place to make it better. We are in a position to do it because, in case you guys don't know, well, of course you guys know, I travel a lot. I just came from Ghana. I went to Sri Lanka. I was in India. I travel a lot and I see what works. I was in Bahamas, Curacao, Aruba, you name it. I've been to all these places and I know what works. So what we are doing, guys, after traveling to Grenada on a tourist ship and people telling me of some of the experience that they would like to have, we decided to bring some of these to the market, because when people come to Grenada, we want them to spend money in Grenada, not leave and go back with their money. So that's why we're introducing so much of this product, heavily invested. And by the way, there's no bank involved. We didn't go to no credit union to get loans to do our project. Everything was funded from our own. You see, this project that we're doing here in the studio, this is what funded our project. Right? And this is what's going to continue to fund our project. So the people who are trying to already, right? The one person don't ride the tuk-tuk yet, No one person don't ride the tuk-tuk yet. People already as they did the first time around. They're already trying to dissect and mess up the business, or try at least. But they're doing the opposite. They're actually doing the opposite, because I'm happy to tell you guys that the tuk-tuk, some people calling me all the way from London, and they already booked. We have about 3 months booked up already for our ride. So it's not hurting, but I'm just saying though, when you see a fellow man that grew up in a small village in Grenada that have a vision and improving sectors, that's not only benefiting himself, but benefiting 20 others from full-time employment, putting money back into the economy, don't try to disrespect that. Don't try to disrespect that. Yeah? Because if you had a vision to do it, then you would have done it. You're not doing it, but you're criticizing improvement. Yeah? Why do you even exist, man? Yeah, why? You know what I mean? Why? Again, this is not going to hurt the business. This is not hurting the business in any way. But as was attempted, right? As was attempted when I first launched the Ride e-bike excursion in Grenada, they're trying the same thing now again. Didn't affect it then, not gonna affect it now. So that's really pissing me off, and that really stuck under my craw a bit, because people are commenting not from a good place. I probably employ a cousin or something that works for me. You know what I mean? And by the way, I'll tell you guys a quick story before I bring on my guests. Before I launched the Ride e-bike, right? A friend of mine in St. Vincent and the Grenadines reached out to me and he said, "Hey, I heard that you were planning on doing this venture, e-bike in Grenada." And so he reached out to me because he wanted me to partner with him on a project in St. Vincent and the Grenadines. So I looked at the idea and I said to him, I said, "Bro, I appreciate," let me just add followers here. Let me add followers. Right, here we go. Right, I say I appreciate the offer. And it was a good offer too. It was a good offer. It was not going to be as expensive for me as I did it solely in Grenada. But I declined the offer because I said to him, I want to do this business first in Grenada. I could have done it in Grenada. I could have done it in Aruba. I have business interests even in Canada. I could have done it different places, right? I choose to do it in Grenada. And it's funny that it benefiting so many people, but some people, they are just so bent on trying to see how they could mash up the business before the business even starts. Come on, man. That's not how we do it, right? That's not Grenada love. That's not what people say Grenada nice and Grenada sweet. That's not how we do it. That's stuck in my craw, guys. That's what's pissing me off. That's really pissed me off this week. Huh? Yeah, anyway, let me bring on my guest because I'm sure he probably have a lot of things pissing him off as well. Help me introduce, second time on the ride, the man himself, Django. How you doing, friend? Hold on, let me unmute you. Yes, my friend, how you do?
I'm good, and you, man? How you been?
Pissed off.
Yes, likewise. I am also pissed off, man. So many things I'm hearing and seeing have me feeling that kind of way.
What's pissing you off?
A lot of things. We expecting a tropical wave. It seems that is pissing me off because we ain't ready for them kind of weather yet.
Yeah.
There's quite a lot of things pissing me off today. The issues, some of the statements, some of the pronouncements over the past couple of days, some of the behavior, the responses from people in the audience. So a lot of things are pissing me off.
Right. Let's touch on one thing, Django, because I think that what's pissing off, I was speaking to some teachers, parents actually, on what's happening currently in terms of payment to teachers and stuff like that. And they was pretty pissed off. They basically was heavily criticizing government for the teachers, some of the temporary teachers that are not sorted out. And as a result, the union are taking actions and threatened to take further actions against the administration. What's your thoughts on that?
Well, I personally stand in solidarity with the teachers and the actions. I think it's warranted because when someone work, they expect to get paid,
Yes.
and no amount of excuse could cover that. Because the teachers have their own responsibilities. They have mortgages. They have kids to send to school. They have food to put on the table. They have bills to pay, and you cannot tell the bill collectors that I ain't get paid, so I don't cut off my light.
Right.
So I understand the position, and they have all reasons to be upset, and I stand and I support the actions of the teachers. Although it may have been taken a little too far, but I support it.
Right. Yeah. Again, and let me say this as well, right? I stand in full solidarity of the teachers or anyone who worked and did not get pay, right? I could just see the look on my staff if I said to them, listen, guys, all you're getting paid this week, all you're getting paid for the next 3 months.
Yeah.
I don't even think that they'll continue to work because, I mean, everybody have their bills to pay. They have to take boss to come in. And how do you work for 3-4 months and you don't get paid? So there no way anybody could say, well, this is good or this is, there's no excuse. There should be no excuse, right? And the buck stop again, the Minister of Education and the people that's involved from that perspective have to really see how that could never be the reality going down the road. Because who want to work and don't get paid? At the end of the day, come on. You know what I mean?
Yeah. You see, when you assume the position of an employer, you take the responsibility to ensure all the conditions that is ideal for the performance of your duty are met.
Yes.
You can't assume the position of an employer and then you're telling people you can't pay them. That ain't making no sense. You better become an employee.
True.
And the state, I know for a fact, the state has budget. They have prepared budgets. They know how many people are working with them. They know the salary for umpteen years. So it's not a matter that it's a new thing. It's something that has been there for almost forever.
Right.
So that should never happen again. That should never happen again. That should never happen again. Pay the people on time. Pay the people. Ensure, because you want to have a smooth, good working relation with your employees. You don't want to have friction and people feel they ain't going to work today, and then that will interfere in the morale and it will interfere in performance. And as long as it just creates a lot of unnecessary tension that you don't need.
Right. Yeah, absolutely. Andrea is saying, while I totally agree, folks need to get payment on time, we need to know the difference between explanation versus excuse. Right? So the government is saying, or the Ministry of Education is saying, that there is a simple explanation as to why this thing happened. And I understand it, right? But as much as you could explain it to someone and say, well, this, that, a lot of people don't want to hear that, People deaf to that, Just want to know, like, yo, so when you hit in my bank account, like, oh, really?
Because that is the most, and imagine you have to wait, in some instances, you have to wait 30 days for that. So
yeah,
if we have the fortnight arrangement and you meet probably 3 fortnights, it might be okay. But when you have a monthly arrangement and you have to, as we were speaking earlier, when people get the money, all of the money is allocated for at the end of the month.
Yeah.
So you by the 3rd or the 4th of the month, you're broke again, and then you have to wait 38 days or 49 days or 62 days to get something in your hand again. It's a lot of pressure. It's a lot of pressure.
Because what about if, think about it like this, right? And I want people to hear me out on this. What if the person have a mortgage, right? So you have a mortgage to pay, and oftentimes if you don't pay your mortgage on time, it incurs interest, right, over a period of time. Yeah. So if you don't pay your mortgage for 3 months or 4 months, and it incur that interest, and the interest doubles sometimes as it goes further, who's responsible for then paying it after the government didn't pay me and I'm waiting on the money to pay the interest? So it's a whole block of problems.
Yeah. What if another person probably have to rely on medicine for their own existence?
Yes.
And then you have no money to buy a medicine, and then your sugar start to drop, you can buy a 2 biscuit, and it's a lot of things that could be taken into consideration here. So people must get paid on time when they work.
Yeah,
there's no compromise, no excuses.
Yeah, absolutely. And again, the understanding is that the workers who are the temporary teachers who are working, they got the process of going to the Public Service Commission and the Public Service Commission making that recommendation back to the Ministry of Education, and the Ministry of Education then give the full go ahead to the Ministry of Finance. That process there, I mean, I don't know if something could be done to just kind of make the process a little more seamless. I don't even know if there is something that's possible.
Scholar made a recommendation. I saw he posted on social media, but on Facebook, when this thing was still hot. And his recommendation is something that is highly practical. He's saying that, okay, to avoid all this back and forth, just have a representative from each of the departments that is responsible for that seamless transition,
Right.
and have them sit in one room. So you have people from the Public Service Commission, people from the Ministry of Education, from the Ministry of Finance. So you cut the back and forth. They do that in one room and then you send it off one time. So in one day you do all the transactions and everybody get paid. Instead of you have to send something to Public Service Commission and you have to send it back to DPA, then DPA has to send it to the Ministry of Education, then Ministry of Education has to send it to Finance. It takes too much time.
Yes.
Yeah, and then documents could get lost in the process.
Yeah.
Things could happen, computer could shut down, so just eliminate all of that and have a unit within the Ministry of Finance. If you want to put it there, or put it in the Ministry of Education, or
Right.
even in DPA.
Yeah.
And then you have these individuals that is from the different sectors doing their jobs there every day, especially around the time you know the transition is about to happen.
But let me tell you something. I don't know if this is something that Grenada, the whole bureaucracy but I went to clear a barrel the other day, right? In fact, not a barrel, sorry. I went to clear my vehicle, my electric vehicle. So I went in one place and I paid that money, right? And right next to the person, and after I get that, I have to go and walk a whole other part of the building to come back again. So after I did about 3 back and forth, the lady said, okay, go right there and get a stamp. I go right there and get a stamp, right? And I come back to her. She said, go back and get the stamp physically in your hand and come back.
Yeah, that is the process. But you see, on the port, I understand why it's done that way, because if you have money and you deal with money there and then things just end up happening, this one touch it because that one in there and who and see and all kind of shit just happen, knowing who we're dealing with. But in terms of the school and the getting the teachers done right,
Yeah.
that shouldn't be an issue. You have everything in the same unit. You have a unit called probably the transition unit.
Yes.
And then you have everything done right there. And the people
Yes.
go about the business and everybody do what they gotta do.
A representative from each body right there. So just
Yeah, right there. So people just move across the desk. It's not leaving buildings and had to email so and then internet and working and that computer had too much load, so the email taking long to go and an attachment missing, and it's a number of different things.
Yeah.
A number of different things.
And then when you get to the last person to sign, I often hear this. I hear this all the time. They say, that person on vacation.
A person not there. Imagine that.
Yeah.
And then when they come back now, they forget because they swamped with work. They
Yeah.
just full of work. This one gone below, and then they forget. And then it's the government of Grenada that gets the bad name at the end of the day, and the Minister for Education and the Minister for Finance. And then you have a position that is all guns are pointing to somebody and they're ready to shoot.
Yeah. Yeah. Hold on. Somebody said to check my audio. Hold on.
And the Minister for
Let me just make sure. Hold on. Let me hear my audio song. Sorry, guys. Hold on. No, my audio is fine. I don't know if somebody tell me check my audio, but my audio is fine. All right. So the person that telling me check my audio, check your system because probably it's on your end. All right. All right. So guys, we're talking this what's pissing you off on a Tuesday, right? And your opportunity to call in and tell us what's pissing you off. Right? Are we talking about this the issue of the payments to teachers? Again, we are in solidarity with the teachers and we just want them to get this right. This should not go forward. This should not happen again next year. And this should end right here. Just fix it. Fix it. Right? Another thing that's pissing a lot of people off in Grenada, Django, is the whole thing about the non-amplified music. So the Prime Minister came out, I remember last year, and I vaguely remember this. Last year, when the announcement was made for the October 19th holiday, it was mentioned that, the format of the holiday, they want the holiday to take, which is perfectly legal for them to basically theme the holiday in whatever way, amplification and how much decibel of music or noise or whatever. They could do that. That's in law. But however, a lot of promoters, whether they heard but they didn't feel that they were serious about it. But anyway, the police officers, the police gave permission to a lot of people to go ahead and conduct promotion. And they did. And then the Prime Minister came out on Wednesday, I believe, and made and solidified that the type of holiday that he envisioned that it would be, and then they would want non-amplified music. So he revoked all the permission that was granted to promoters at that point in time. What do you think about that decision?
The I have a lot of thoughts on that decision. I want to go back to the history before I go into my substantive position. If the general population was abreast with the happenings of October 19th, they may not even consider the thought of having any party in any way. That's just my personal view.
True.
Because if you have a situation where you had a major mark in history of this country, and it ended in such a way that people lost their lives and people are grieving and they have been grieving for 40 years and without closure, you can't find bodies, you understand, it's a whole lot of pain that took place on that day 41 years ago. I personally may not consider having a party, but I'm not a promoter, so I don't have that same energy, that same blood, that same drive. But the response by the Prime Minister, I felt it was somewhat untimely, although it was said last year. We have to constantly remind the arms of government. So if the policymakers made a decision at that level, it should have been sent across to the police and all who is issuing license for events on that day. It shouldn't have that disconnect with the policymaker have one view and then the police, the implementer, having another view. So it creates the confusion. And that is exactly what happened. The RGPF should have been abreast and understood the assignment from the goal of this holiday. We know the holiday is for a tranquil day, for reflection. And then again, we should have probably called it the Memorial Day holiday instead of the Heroes Day, because that again creates some confusion, because when you look at and you listen to some of the people that felt slighted by the revolution itself, by Morris and his team, and whose family got beaten and whose family got arrested, and the whole amalgamation of issues now, it begs us to revisit probably the name. I like the name. I was at the ceremony. I like the name because I consider, based on my teachings and what I love, it is well warranted. We just have to find that sweet spot to make everybody come together, because those people that felt slighted, as I said before, they take an issue considering those that died heroes, because my father was arrested without doing nothing in jail and this and that and the others. So we just had to get the history right, and then we could get this thing. And then again, this is the first year, really, in terms of the event. I believe once you fine-tune it and you do the necessary work and you have these necessary stakeholders come together, we could make it work for the interest of the entire country, so we could recognize the people that played their role in the politics. And because I know these other persons were awarded for roles they played outside of politics, sports and otherwise. But we must get the history right and let us put this thing to rest once and for all, because it is painful. As a young man, I wasn't even, well, for them I was about 9 months when this thing happened.
You're a young man.
Yeah, when I'm young, and the revolution, the demise of the revolution is companions, I should say. Yeah, and I'm listening to Ralph and listening to some of the speeches, I got chills, because, you know what I mean, it's something that is dear to me. When I was at the St. George's University, we had to do a course in politics about the Grenadian Revolution, and the history and the research that I did, seeing it coming back into the forefront again, listening to the context of how the thing happened and the pain. I felt proud as a Grenadian to know that I was born the same year of this thing, although it was a bad thing that happened. That last October 19th was a bad day, a really bad day for a lot of people, man. We just had to get the lawmakers and the implementers on the same page, so we could make it, and all stakeholders, so we could make this thing really what it's supposed to be. Because it's a great part of our history. Furthermore, it's the greatest part of our history. This is our own history. It's not a European history. It's not African history. This is Grenadian history, and we need to preserve it and promote it as much as possible.
Absolutely. And what I'm hearing is that a lot of people, they're not against the decision to make it a solemn day. They're not against the decision to make it that day that it is, right? they are somewhat taken aback that it was done in the timing that it was done, right? And if I had the opportunity to advise the prime minister, which I don't, obviously, I would have probably not have the prime minister make that announcement. You're spending political capital that you don't need to spend. I would have had the police service make that announcement, save face a bit, and still get the same effect, right? Let the police officers or let the police commissioner, whatever, make a press conference and say that. And the timing should have been way in advance because promoters lost money. And I understand how it is to lose money. As a promoter, I lost money a lot of times. It's never a good feeling. It's never a good feeling. You know what I mean? So you have to take that into consideration. It is not about the announcement. And again, it is in legislation that the government could do that. Right? There's no. I hear a lot of people talking about, oh, they can't do that and that and
They don't read and they don't know.
You know what I mean? But I mean, people that even had, you would think have sense because when even the former prime minister said that people should defy. You know, we'll get to that. People should defy that law.
Yeah, but remember, the former prime minister is a melee man. He's a kind of bacchanal man, so he would say anything. He's a kind of. I don't want to see the word that it could get me into problems.
If he was outside on the street, you'd have
that's he's a kind of melee man. You could expect that from him. He don't like nothing they call peace and serenity, and he like bacchanal. He just like disruption. Remember him in the parliament when the Jabs was singing?
Yeah.
Me?
Yeah.
I'm sorry. This kind of man he is. The kind of TB man kind of thing.
Yeah. Well, that's what happened there. So we're not saying again, guys. It is if the like for instance, when was curfew, right? And the NNP was in power, and they said curfew, go outside, stay inside. People could have said, "Hey, who is it to tell me to stay inside? I'm going outside."
Yeah.
And it's not right. You are the policymaker and you enact a law. Like you enact a clause in the law that tell people it's curfew, stay inside. And if anyone went outside, I know people that was arrested.
Yeah, people were arrested and charged. Yeah.
For disobeying. And then they had the curfew thing where you had to go and stay in for a couple of days and before you get your results and things. I was caught up in a hotel for a couple of days. Got traveled from St. Vincent to Grenada. I could have said, who listening to them?
Thank you very much.
I don't want to listen to them. You cannot be a policymaker and trying to tell people to break the law.
No, but you see, the truth about it, what I realize this gentleman is trying to do, he like chaos. He wants some kind of chaos to break out, some kind of rebellion to break out, and then he would ride in on this horse and pretend that he cares about the country. And he's the one inciting all the bacchanal.
That's bacchanal.
He doesn't care, in my view, he doesn't care about this place being a safe place. He just wanted to burn down, and then he could come and see, I tell all this one. Them boys, they know what they're doing. And then he will come back and present himself as some reformed being. But he has the intention, from my research and interactions, he wants nothing good for us. Nothing good is supposed to happen here once these guys are out.
No, it's not a good thing. And again, I'm going to take it from a very, very unbiased perspective. And you guys could chime in on this as well. It doesn't ring good by having a former prime minister for over a period of time coming out so boldly and asking people to disobey a legitimate law. And you, at the point in time, had a whack at it. You've been there many, many times, and you expected people to adhere to the laws that you put in there. The curfew was one of them. You know, what is the thing when you go down there, you have to stay a couple of days? I tell you.
Quarantine, that was quarantine.
Quarantine.
Yeah, that was a quarantine. And what, if we go back to as far as Hurricane Ivan,
yeah,
I remember Grenadians were shot at from the same law. A guy in Munich, they call Imbi, tall guy, you're supposed to know Imbi, he used to be in New York.
Yeah.
Imbi car was shot up in on Sandal Street. Imbi had a black Nissan Bluebird that was shot up. And sent out down by the old church because he refused to follow the curfew, and that was under the same Keats law.
But you cannot do that, man. You can't do that. You have to. I mean, politics is one thing, and that's why I say in politics start to cross all kind of stupid lines. Politicians start to cross all kind of stupid lines. It's like idiot season just never ended. Like how could you blatantly tell your supporters, man, to disobey a law. That a law is not like it is not. I don't understand it. I don't understand it. That is the truth. I don't understand it. Right? So that I think was not a good thing. All right. Absolutely, I denounce that. Just like how we denounce and we give NEC and tell them, listen, all you have to do what all you have to do. I'm telling the former prime minister that is not a good thing. That is a melee practice. You cannot continue to do that because you go create a kind of thing where people go want to defy every single thing. What if some kind of, God forbid, we don't have any kind of thing like COVID again and they tell people stay inside? You go and say, don't do it.
Now he do not easy, man. He do not easy. He do not real easy. He do not real easy without a problem.
Crazy. That should not be. That should not be.
You don't have respect. You see, and the thing about what I think is the real cause for him and his pronouncements to his members is because he have no respect for them. And they have no respect for themselves either. Because if somebody that has led you politically for close to 40 years, he has been the leader of that party. If the person that has led you for 40 years has that concept of leadership, this gentleman, because he doesn't value you as an individual, because you go ahead and you defy the law and you get arrested and charged.
Yeah.
He ain't coming and take your bill and pay nothing for you. You're on your own, you know. Case in point, that same thing with Sheldon. He ain't pay a dollar for Sheldon up to now. He ain't pay. He doesn't spend money like that. He's a guy that would set things up and just disappear. Setting you up to go and break the law, where you go be? When you get locked up and you get charged and you get beaten, if you had to get beaten.
That's interesting, because
so
what if the people that he's saying to go and do this get locked up, go and do it and they get locked up in jails? What happened to them?
Where they get any number to call him? What's his number, by the way? I'm trying to get this guy's number years now. I have to have a conversation with him. What's his number? Anybody on the thing have his number? Just send it for me. I'll have a chat with him.
I'll send it for you. No, Kit is my boy, though. Kit is my boy. We always bunks when we see each other.
Yeah, but you have to do better than that as a former prime minister, as a leader, somebody that the young people would be looking up to. Remember, you have kids here, you have young men that might be aspiring to be involved in politics.
Right.
And they may want a mentor, somebody to look up to. They might like his type of politics because he has been successful at the polls many times. And they might just decide to emulate this guy. Look at what he's teaching them. Just break the law. It's okay. I could see what I want.
But people like it though. People like him because listen to this, right? If his supporters, and more than his supporters, was not in favor of his type of politics, they wouldn't elect him. He might win 15.
No, I won't even say that, you know. Watch, we have to be honest with. And I'm saying this thing and I'm gonna get some licks for it. NDC was weak at the time when Keith was winning, you know. We had highly unpopular leaders, people that wasn't liked in the local language. And we just rally along because it's a process and we have to participate in the process. But we knew that the light at the end of the tunnel wasn't there. We couldn't be in that situation forever. We carried the burden for a long time. We get licks after licks after licks.
Right.
And you have to reorganize yourself because as part of the, I shouldn't say part of this, you know, but this is who I support. I'm not a member to say I'm a member. I'm not NP me Jews in a while and so forth. I hold no position within the organization. When we were younger, we always said to our leaders, we ain't connecting, you know. People ain't like all you. And it always joke. I remember one time we had a meeting, an executive meeting, when I used to be part of the executive. We said, yo, the people don't like all you, but we were telling somebody, the leader and general secretary and these guys, the public is not interested in all you. And that was right before the 2018-15 nil again. Because we went around the country and we listened to the talk on the ground. But if we had a solid team of likable people,
right?
Pete could have never tried. Well, Mitchell could have never tried. Don't think he would have been able to be so successful. We have to take some blame for selecting not popular leaders.
Right.
They may be intelligent in the field, but politics here is not about being intelligent in the field alone. You must be able to connect and feel. The people have to feel that, okay, boy, that man will seek my interest.
Right.
And that man will represent me well. And now we see a whole transformation.
Right.
Some of the leaders that wasn't there from the past is no longer there. And you see the energy kind of changed. So
Right.
the people were really honest with us when we were going around the country.
Yeah. I want to get back to Dr. Keating, but I want to sound a warning call for this current administration. They have to be careful, by the way, because although I think that the Prime Minister is a very popular and still a very popular leader, I think that more PR need to be consistently done with the other MPs. Like, they have to put themselves out there. I believe that they need more PR, right? Like, for instance, last week we had an interview with the Minister of Health. He never shy away from coming on the program. I called him and he came, but I thought that he should have done a lot more more on the ground PR even before, because there was a lot of noise, man. When he came in, everybody had questions. They allow that to build up over time, then it leave in the middle for people to put this spin on it, and all kind of myth and things start to take wave. If you leave that opportunity there, people go take advantage of that opportunity. They need a better and proper PR.
I support that 100%. And not only better PR now. Do you know what? I'm a kind of candid guy, eh? And I just say what's on my mind. I just try not to break the law, and I ain't go sitting how my man does say. But I think too, with the PR, we as a government, they work well in government, some of them, most of them. But when it comes to the political work, a lot of them is not interested in the political work, because that is where the real heavy lifting is. Because when you have to go in the trenches and you have to interact with probably hundreds of people in a short period of time, and everybody have a different request, and you understand, when you look at some of the living conditions, and it depresses you as a human, knowing that we had a government sitting for such a long time.
Right.
Just, I think last week, Friday, I took it up on my own and I went through certain communities to look at the living condition of some of our Grenadian brothers and sisters, my brother. And I could share you some of the photos. Man, it's only tears that come to my eyes. And I was wondering, asking myself, where the hell was the government of Grenada in the past? Not that I'm advocating for everybody get a free house here.
Right.
But we must look at the condition, the living condition of our Grenadian brothers and sisters. We have to make sure that these people, some people would fall through the cracks.
Right.
But it have too many people that fell through the cracks. So something was wrong with the whole system.
Right. Yes.
Something was wrong with the system. Too many bad houses in one little area that I visited. Two polling divisions in a constituency. And I witnessed over 50 bad houses, each worse than the other.
That is crazy.
People have to defecate in buckets underneath the house. I tell you no lie, brother. I was sending you the photos.
Yeah.
And I went deliberately because I want to make a point.
Right.
Everybody is now asking for housing assistance and material assistance. The government have to respond. But what was done in the past? How it is all of a sudden within 2 years, all house bad?
No. Well, it's not. Just like the health system. The health system didn't just get bad yesterday.
The police stations again, almost all police stations bad again.
Yeah, it's mashing up.
But how it is, what these guys were doing, what were they doing for this 10 years plus 13 years?
Yeah. Guys, what's pissing you off on a Tuesday? And we're talking here with Django, and put a number up there so you guys could call. And you could call on WhatsApp or you could call straight. But we're talking. That's what we do on a Tuesday. Before all you let it get in all yourself and all you have to take it physical, we don't want that. We want all you to vomit it right here on the program. Well, not literally, though. That's not a good word. We want a little articulate it here on the program then. Let's talk about it. It's what's pissing you off and on a Tuesday. The number that's there on the screen. All right, let's get into this piece here, Django. And if I should play that one first. No. Before I do that, let me say this. Someone said that to me. I want to know what your thoughts. This administration is setting up a solid foundation for the takeoff, right? But there are people who don't understand the reason why you should build a solid foundation under your house. And a lot of people believe in instant gratification. They want a house to build on sinking sand without the real strong, solid foundation. Now, with the analogy and the way how we know our Grenadian people with that instant gratification, right? Do you think it would affect them negatively to tell people the hospital that was planned out, we bought the land, and this is going to affect people 6, 7, 8, 10 years down the road? You think people get it? You think people understand, like, yeah, this is going to help us down the road?
Well, you see, that as the Prime Minister was saying this morning, we have to look at this thing, especially in healthcare. Healthcare is not really the hospital, you know.
True.
Healthcare really starts with us. We need to look at ourselves, treat ourselves better, and understand the health system. Because I have seen over the years, someone would be rushed to the hospital to just a cut.
Yeah.
And then you oversaturate the population in the hospital, and then real emergencies come in, and then they have to get kind of pushed back, and then you have people dying, and you have the complaints. And so we must, in my view, we must understand what requires a hospital visit.
Yeah.
And also, too, added to that, we should now, I believe, have all health centers open 24/7. I don't understand why we don't have health centers open 24/7. So some of the community issues, little cuts, little thing, little dog bite and thing, send these things in the communities. You don't have to oversaturate the hospital with minor issues.
Yeah.
Hospital would deal with the major things. So we should, I keep saying in my view, because me, I want nobody feel like MP to say nothing here.
Right.
I ain't working with the government of Grenada. I ain't giving no advice to the government of Grenada.
Right. You're just stuck in your mind.
The health centers opened 24/7, or at least up to midnight, or probably 2 a.m. So anything that happens, especially on the weekends, you know, people fight on the weekend, who drink rum, who fall down, who meet in accidents. These things could be done and dealt with in the health centers. And then you have the hospital for major problems. And that would eliminate all of the heavy burden in the hospital.
Let me give a business idea, because I oftentimes get business visions all the time. But that's something I'm going to do, so I'm going to give it out there so anybody that want to grab it. Now, in New York and in other places that you go, there are walk-in clinics, right? Mm-hmm. Privately owned 24-hour walk-in clinic. Because as was said earlier, the government don't run everything in the healthcare system, like the pharmacies and all this other stuff. Mm-hmm. So I believe that a private company, an investor, could take on the task of opening 24-hour, how do they call it over here? They call it MD something. I can't remember the full name of it. But it's privately owned. I could go up to Jamaica Avenue, there's one. I could go in, they're all over New York, right? Mm-hmm. And it's run by the private sector. It's like a doctor's office, a little doctor office, but it's open 24/7. So it takes the pressure and the burden. Urgent care. Mm-hmm. That's what it's called. Thank you so much, Jennifer Lawrence. Urgent care clinics, that is available anywhere, anytime. You could go there and get it hooked up, privately owned. I think that would take away the burden from everybody having to run there and run there. Rather take away the burden of the government, because as the Prime Minister says, it's a public, healthcare is a public-private, arrangement with the pharmacy. I think that's a good idea. Urgent care. Mm-hmm. Yeah. I think that is something that probably a business, somebody that's thinking right now, have a little bit of cash. If I didn't spend all my cash on my top.
But you see, then again too, I don't know if we need to get into the culture of paying for your health.
Yeah.
Remember, it's been free for almost forever. So asking a man now to pay for certain things, it might have to do some reculturing and,
but they already pay. Because when they go to the pharmacy and them does advertise, they have to pay for it.
Yeah, they would pay for the medication, but for the service, they would. That's one of the reasons why most people go directly to the hospital too. Because there's no cost to it. You just run up in the hospital and you get your check and you're gonna watch your business. Nobody tell you nothing about nothing.
Yeah.
But we should find out the PPP is a good idea. It's a very good initiative. But
yeah,
it's something that we could. I hope the policymakers are listening. I know they normally do listen to your
I hope
program, because you have quite a large followership and viewership.
I hope they're listening today, though. Let's hope they're listening today.
And I hope they listen, because it's something that we need to do to kind of ease up the burden on the healthcare.
People think that healthcare in America and in places and is free. Let me tell you guys something. If you, say for instance, you came to the US and you went to the hospital, the first thing when you go through the triage process, they get your name and information and all that stuff. All of that is on file, right? Say for instance, you go through the process and they spent a lot of money on your care in the hospital, and say it's for an accident or whatever. And it so happened that you were able to get some money, a lump sum of money, because of your accident case. Mm. Before you get that money, the hospital take the money.
Yeah, true.
You have to pay. You probably may not be able to pay at this point in time, but you have to pay. In fact, there's a lot of laws that goes against that. If you go and you use the facility and you don't pay, and in the process of getting your green card, like you have a child or whatever, at some point in time you have to pay. So healthcare in the US is not free. Yeah, you could walk into the hospital, they're not going to deny you, but at some point in time it will fall back on you.
All back on you, yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, we need to get serious with these things because I understand the philosophy coming from us being a revolutionary country, where that was something that was promoted in the 1979, and through the period we kept it. It's a good thing when you're building a state to have people health, considered as the responsibility of the state. But there are folks that could afford to pay for the healthcare. They should really pay for what they could afford.
Yeah, they have to. They have to pay it. Like what is free? Like, what is free? Nothing is free, and it's not free enough.
No, it's not free. We pay our taxes for that. But
exactly.
And the truth about it, some of the people that pay the most amount of taxes, they never really access the healthcare. They could afford to probably go in Miami, according to my boy, and probably buy a shot when they done.
Talking about Miami. Talking about you had to bring that up, man. Yeah, I feel that you not bring that up. I feel it. I'll cue it up for you. Listen to this. Give me your reaction on this. Give this.
The country, listen, brothers. People, and you know something? You know when poor people have money, everybody get piece of the money. When big people have money, they spend it in Miami and New York and so on. Well, I'm telling you the truth. If I have to buy a shirt, I go in Miami and buy my shirt. But you poor, you don't go in. You buying it right here. They going in the shop, you buy the power flour. You going in the store and you buy your children books.
Django, you poor. Where you get that shirt?
Boy, I buy that in some store in town, I think by Abu's or something. Yes, boy, what is the emphasis on how he did? But you poor. And I give you a guarantee. 90% of the people that he just called poor, they supported him for the last 40 years. And they were poor when they started to support him. Their grandparents were poor. The parents were poor. And they're still poor, supporting the same philosophy and organization. It's disrespectful. It's like he did everything in his power to maintain their poverty status.
Yeah.
To come and laugh at them now.
Yeah. You know that's a political hold on, let me take this call. Let me take this call and then we'll Caller, you live? Are you calling for the program?
Hello.
Yeah, hi. Are you calling for the program?
Yes, Junior, I am.
Okay, go right ahead, caller. Where are you calling us from?
I'm calling from Canada.
Canada, go right ahead.
Junior, this piece you now play. It's so disturbing, right? It's like, look at how we disrespecting and insulting his followers, and everybody is jumping and making a whole set of noise. It's like they don't even realize like he's insulting them. All they know, they're just supporting him and jumping up for him and making him feel that it's okay to insult them. So when he's doing that, do you tell me, I don't want to insult nobody, how educated those people and them is? For what I see, they're not educated. This is why when something happened in Grenada or the Prime Minister do something in Grenada, they don't understand because they're not educated enough to understand what he's trying to do. After Kit is fooling up with nonsense, how are you going to insult someone and tell them that you buying your shot in Miami and they're buying it? So that means he's not supporting Grenada in nothing at all. Nothing whatsoever. He's supporting Grenada in not even to buy a shot. Even when Kit's sick, Kit jump a plane and go in the United States. Look what happened in Carriacou. Look how Carriacou was destroyed. He boasted he have so much money. Not even once since I ever hear Kit donate for Carriacou. So Grenada people need to wise up and realize sometimes when you're trying to build something good, it don't happen in one day. NDC didn't mess up Grenada healthcare. NDC didn't mash up Grenada houses. So Grenadian people need to follow rules, listen, and educate themselves. Sense was made before book. And every time Mitchell come with his nonsense, they jump up and make it okay. It's not okay. Do you know where you buy your shirt?
Me? I buy my shirt, but I buy my shirt in this particular shirt that I have here. You know where I bought it? I bought it in Grenada. See right here?
Oh boy.
You see that? You see that bite?
You know, I'm buying Grenada.
Yeah, you see that?
I buy rivers, spices, and stuff. That's what I'm buying Grenada
No,
when I go to
I'm not rich. I'm not rich. I'm not rich. I buy my shirt where? I'll you can see the label on it.
Okay.
I'll you see it? That is where I buy my
Good
shirt.
evening. Take care.
Thank you, caller. Thank you.
Okay, bye.
Yeah. I don't lie. Look at where I buy my shirt. You don't see it? Look,
What's it?
it's a Grenada.
Okay, now.
Yeah,
I
I buy it in the mall.
It's got the ball right by you.
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah, I buy my shirt in Grenada. I buy a lot of my stuff in Grenada. Yeah, man.
Because you see, when you do that, you support the local economy, the young ladies. Because the truth is, when you support the stores, that is how some of our sisters get the $25 a day.
Yeah,
Because some ladies work for $25 EC a day in some of the stores.
yeah,
So when you abscond from purchasing things here locally, and you go to Miami to buy it in your probably Louis Vuitton or whatever the big stores are, that is one person less that gets your money to probably put a meal on the table for the children. And you
right.
so love Grenada.
yeah.
You
Let me
so
tell you
love
this.
it.
We purposely do this thing here where we go around, right? When we go and we do our rides on a Sunday, and we go into the villages. Say we go into St. David, and say we have 10 riders, 12 riders with us. We stop by a shop. We say this is the stop shop, the shop stop. We go into the shop and everybody buy things in the shop.
Yeah, man. Support small
We
business.
used to buy a guy
Always support small
up,
business.
up by golf course up there. And we pull up in the guy's shop, eh? The guy was so happy when he see us, man. We just buy thing, we buy bread, we buy all kind of cake, all kind of things. He give us 2 of that, 3 of that. And I showed the man was happy. We buy the thing there, right? And we support. I don't go wrong everywhere I see skin up a buying. People say, why you buying more skin up for so? I buy it. That's how you support, right?
And a little money sending children to school for the week.
Yes.
Don't underestimate it.
Yeah.
Don't underestimate it.
Yeah. So you have to support the local economy. I go and I go in the market and I buy a whole set of oil and all kind of thing. You know what I mean? I support the local economy. So people, you know, you have to support. I wrote something. Hold on, I have a call was coming in. I disconnected it. So call back, please. But I wanted to read something that that I wrote. Let me see if I could pull it up. It's about celebrating poverty. I wrote this, and it's so coincidental that it was given to be. It was an inspirational note that I put on that particular day. Let's take this call. We come back to what I wrote. Caller, you live. Where are you calling us from?
Toronto.
Toronto. How are you doing?
I'm doing all right, Junior.
Yes. Go right ahead.
Yeah. I have 2 little things to say.
Yes.
I don't really want to reiterate, but on Sunday, when I was looking at the LNP thing, which I really was scrolling, and if I see it, I stop for a minute or 2, but then I said, let me look at it. When I heard what the former Prime Minister said, my jaw dropped. Because the thing about it is, one, it's insulting the people of Grenada. It is showing the world as a former Prime Minister how unintelligent he is, because that's a lack of intelligence. And then to tell the people, okay, I'm going to go out, then I could fly out to the States. So you're telling people, I don't care about you. If something comes to happen, I have the financial backing to go to America. But on top of that, and I didn't hear anybody mention that part, when he turned to them and said, and you guys, you have your little and you could go in the store and buy a pound of flour. Very, very, very demeaning to our people. And you have to realize that people around the world watch those things. And it will send a negative image to Grenada. That's the reason why they would never understand, or at least show that they understand what this present Prime Minister is about. Uplifting and doing everything that could possibly make Grenada come from that rat hole that Keith Mitchell kept us in that long. The other thing is when he was on the stage saying, play your damn music. Play your damn music. No damn body stop you. And the thing about what gets me upset with that is that when he speaks, I know we have our local parlance, but sometimes when you're on national TV, you have to show yourself as a prime minister, former prime minister or leader, because the world is not only Grenadians that's looking. The world is looking. You know, I remember sometimes my daughter would say, why they speak like that? Why they speak like that? They think it's a thing. But if he meets a certain caliber of Grenadians, he don't speak that way. If you know, he don't speak that way. He speaks when he's speaking to his people because that's where he wants to keep them. One other thing on Emlyn Care. For a woman who said she was a teacher and the Minister of Education, sorry, Junior, I know you don't like people to say things. She is as dumb as a spoon back.
No, don't say that. Emily not here to defend herself. We don't say that. Don't say that.
Well, I'm going to tell you why. Because she spoke about the Prime Minister stopping the thing music. When I saw him say it, I said, and people started to think, I said, wait, I'm living in Canada. And I remembered last year, he said that. You know, or the amplified music and so on to that context. So if I am in Canada and I could remember that, I don't understand how some of these people don't. But the thing about it, what Emmeline Pierre said, she has two reasons why they stopped it. I can't remember the first one because the first one was so minuscule and stupid, it didn't make any sense. The other one made less sense. Because they know we are going to Carriacou and we are going to have this big crowd and put on this big jam. So that's the reason why they stopped the amplified music so that we would not be able to celebrate this kind of way. Tell me something. What are people coming to now?
Yeah.
They have to think that the world looks at us. And we have to know how to carry ourselves. Like, you know, play your damn music, no damn body, stop your...
Yeah.
That's the government. That's the Prime Minister. He has no respect. He has absolutely no respect for Prime Minister Dickon Mitchell. No respect at all. And it's time that Grenadians start to wake up. These things I know who is in the right direction for us as a country. Right. And that's all I have to say.
Thank you, caller. Appreciate you so much. Yeah. I don't like to disrespect people in that way. So you might feel passionate about it, guys, but you know, I don't like that tone, me personally. And I try to keep the platform at a level, although you may criticize that, right? So yeah, but I do understand where the caller is coming from, the passion where he spoke. We got another call coming in, so I can bring it in. So I can bring it in. Caller, hold on. Caller, live. Where are you calling us from? Hello?
Hello?
Hi, caller. You live. Where are you calling us from?
Calling from Brooklyn.
Brooklyn, New York. All right, ahead.
Yeah. Based on what the caller said, that Keith Mitchell has no respect for Prime Minister Dickon Mitchell. Number one, Keith Mitchell has no respect for himself. And the way he talked down to Grenadians is very sad. For me personally, whenever I hear the word poor, they are poor, it hurts me because I went to convent in Granville and Sister Genevieve, that principal, taught us people are not poor. They are less fortunate. Keith need to speak properly to the people. For example, you say you can't buy a shirt. You talk about SHUT. You have to speak properly so even them can learn from what he's saying. He's just a moron. That's what I have to say. And that pisses me off. Bye.
All right, thank you, caller. 717-015-720. A lot of passion and people speaking with passion. And it's better all they get it out than all they keep it inside. This is what the program is about. What's pissing you off on a Tuesday? Django, what's your take on all of this so far? It's a lot said.
Yeah, the general consensus is the population or the listeners and the participants is not impressed with the performance and the behavior of the former Prime Minister.
Right.
He has reduced himself how we say it in local language, he boiled down in a sense now. And he's not appearing to be a statesman. He should be preparing himself now to be a governor general, in the future, if time permits, if everything goes well for him. So you have to present yourself as that experienced leader that has passed and served, and you understand what I'm saying? You're moving on to the next level. But you can be a leader of 40 years and then you still turn a TV man. That is like fish market kind of behavior. It's like you waste your entire political career. All the accolades that you assumed in the past, it's like you wasted, you got it for nothing. You're supposed to have learned class and poise and behavior and demeanor and all these things as a former leader, a prime minister of 23 years. It's like you learn nothing.
Yeah.
Just end up being a TV man with me. I just had to put a security address on him.
Oh, Lord.
Come next carnival.
You too?
Play man.
We have a call on the line. Call your live. We call it out from. Call your live.
Hello, good night, Junior. Good night, John.
Hey, how are you
Good
doing?
night.
Yes.
From Brooklyn, New York.
Yes.
There is a few things. On this question of Heroes Day, Memorial Celebration, however it is called, I think one of the things that would serve Grenada and Grenadians very well is the address given by Dr. Gonzalez.
Right.
He spoke up a number of things there which were very, very, very important. And in many cases, people listen. But are they understanding? People might be hearing. Are they listening? Are they understanding what is being said? If they do, then we will behave differently. On the question of amplified music on that day, if the people are sensitized as to the importance of Heroes Day, you wouldn't even have to tell them don't play amplified music. They would behave in a certain way. So then there needs to be some form of education at the community level and at the schools, primary and secondary schools, with regard to that whole question of heroes. And one of the things that Gonzalez did in St. Vincent's case, that's their choice, and they have a right to choose what they want, but they only had one hero. And for somebody to be a hero, they have to be a dead person, and they have to be a citizen. St. Vincent's case, that's their choice. So we need to take note. But there's another aspect of that whole celebration.
Hold on. Sorry, caller, hold on 1 second. Caller, hold on 1 second. I apologize. I just muted your call with another person that just called in. So I'm going to ask the person that's on hold to just hold on 1 second and mute your device because we're hearing it back. And the person caller, you could go ahead and continue.
Yeah, so on the day in question, there were a number of names that were called. In the first instance, there were 17, and thereafter there were 18 names that were called. And it was clarified later on by Randall Robinson that, the first set of people was people who died on October 19th. Well, up to today, in the year 2024, 40 years later, there is no clear record as to how many people died in the events that took place on October 19th, except those who apparently most likely were executed. So something needs to be done to identify all the persons who passed away. There were children from Hindley School and Mother Rose who may very well have died. But nobody's talking about them. As a matter of fact, the students were the true heroes because they are the ones who demonstrated and went and helped remove the leader, Bishop, from house arrest.
Right.
So the effort must be made to sensitize people in that regard. Even worse than that, in conversation, not my own experience, but in conversation with someone, you had students who are people who are traumatized on the day of October 19th. And they did not return to school. Nobody asked them a question. So the government needs to put something in place to deal with that. And let me be very frank. You cannot take square pegs and put them in round holes to be in charge of that. So there are people who have their hands into the whole events of October 19th. They shouldn't be in charge. They should get independent people who will take an example from the South African conciliation to deal with that. And it's important, and that should be a part of the process moving forward. We shouldn't be going through what we went through last year and this year with regard to the Hero celebration. If we're talking about change and we're talking about consultation and so forth, it needs to be done now and not wait for 5 years later or 2 days before an event.
Right.
To be dealing with those things. On the question of PR, I mean, as I understand it, sometimes I have the chance to listen to press conferences, and somewhere along the line, people are not communicating clearly and appropriately. So I can only speak of what I heard in a press conference where the Prime Minister indicated he traveled to Nigeria. Dangote paid for his trip, and his return, he paid for it. Well, he paid for it in capacity. He traveled as an official of the government of Grenada, so he got an official trip. He traveled in his private capacity. I have my own interpretation based on what he said. But people who are not clear. So these things should be clear.
Right.
So that people is aware of it. And you have to bring the people along. You cannot be sitting in government like other governments has done, and you just hear certain things. When you talk about the health sector, you have to have a question coming out from a journalist to let people know that you have a hospital and there are people in Grenada who will be there for 90 days regard to our health system. That should be told in advance. Let people know what we're doing, because we're improving the healthcare system and we're going to do better clinics probably in the outer parishes and a new hospital. Let the people know so that they're walking together with you and not walking way behind and after you. Have a good night.
All right, thank you, caller. Thank you so much. Got another caller on the same line. Caller, you go right ahead.
Hello, good evening.
Hi, good
I
evening.
have to call tonight.
Yes, no problem. Go ahead.
How y'all doing?
Good.
So, first off, do you realize that most of the calls are coming from people in the diaspora? So, what it begs for me to mention here is, are the people in Grenada so desensitized that they just are accustomed to the mediocre, laissez-faire, laissez-aller attitudes of the former Prime Minister, that they are not concerned about what he says, what is going on, the things that they're putting out there, that whole green team, I'm so confused as to, we get the information, we're in the diaspora, we're on top of it, we know everything that's going on, we stay on top of it, we're involved. But the people who should be benefiting, it doesn't, some people are involved, yes, but the people don't seem to get it or grasp what is happening, I mean, the Prime Minister did say from last year what moving forward, what Heroes Day is going to look like.
Right.
So it was so confusing that, one, the police gave people permission. I don't get that. So what's happening? Where's the breakdown? So there's a lot of breakdown. Are these people trying to undermine the government? Because that's how it comes across to me, that you're trying to undermine the government. So you know what's supposed to happen, but you do what you want anyway. Right. Because again, laissez-faire, laissez-aller attitude. You're right. We've had that for 40 years plus, right? And today on a press with Innocent on GBN, the Prime Minister was there, and people should really go back and listen to that interview and hear what he has to say about the trip, what happened, why they travel so much, because a Prime Minister is supposed to travel. Mm-hmm. It's not just travel for fun, but when he travels, he always comes back with something for Grenada. And that's what they need to understand. But again, they could only understand that when it's broken down to them and the information is put out there. NDC has to do, the political party, no, not the government, the political party has to put the information out there as to what's happening, what they're doing. Even supporters, I mean, one thing I noticed is that we have to let people speak. We don't have to attack every time somebody says something that you don't like about the Prime Minister. You attack them. Why?
No, we don't have to do that at all. Give people the opportunity to speak.
They have the right to say what they want.
Yeah.
Who are you to decide? Did Jesus Christ die and leave you in charge?
Right.
I'm going to take up more of your time. But, I mean, the information is out there. We need to listen, and who knows, share it. And break it down for people so that they could really understand. Because I think that insult by the former Prime Minister was above their heads. They didn't understand what he was saying. They didn't get it.
Right.
It was so subtle, but it was there.
Yeah.
So hopefully they'll start to listen,
Yeah. All
But
right.
we'll see.
Thank you so much,
you.
Carla. Thank you so much, Carla. Appreciate you.
All right. Have a good night.
All right. Thank you so much. All right. So we got another caller. Fast and Furious, boy. Got a caller on the WhatsApp. Caller, go right ahead. Caller, turn your background down a little bit. Your music or your TV or your device. And go ahead. Call on the WhatsApp. Go ahead.
Django, good night. I seen your whole class.
Who's that? I've been in a lot of different classes,
Hey. You know what I find?
Mm-hmm.
I find too much programs focus on NNP and Keith Mitchell too much. This morning I was listening to a program on Good Morning Grenada with the Prime Minister. And that program was so informative. I never heard so much information on one program, on another program, yet, matter of fact.
Mm-hmm.
I find, even you and Django Ian Thomas, even you should take a page from the Prime Minister. The Prime Minister did the program and he didn't mention Keith Mitchell or NNP name for more than 1 hour doing a program. He didn't mention Keith Mitchell and NNP name. I just find we're making Keith Mitchell and NNP seem like they're still relevant. We're talking about Keith Mitchell and NNP too much, and there's a lot of things what the government doing and Keith Mitchell doing, but are you not focused on? Have a good night.
Thank you, caller. I appreciate it. Again, we have no problem with taking criticism. We take it, and we take it. No problem. And this is what makes Ride Along or any program that's on Ride Along different, all right? Because we ain't blocking nobody, we ain't shutting nobody down, we giving people an opportunity to speak their minds. And anyone from any political affiliation could feel free to come and speak about how they feel. And that's how we operate here on the platform. Caller, you live? Where are you calling us from? Hello?
I'm calling from Grenada.
Grenada, go right ahead. Turn your background.
Yes.
Caller, turn your TV or whatever device down a bit, because we're having problems.
Okay.
Yeah, go ahead.
That's
go ahead.
Better.
Yeah.
Yeah, Junior, the thing about what I observe, I live in Canada, but I've been here for quite a couple of months now.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I'm really a citizen to the bone, patriot to the bone.
Where you buy your shirt?
The thing about I buy my shirt from a lady in Grenville. from a lady in the market in Grenville.
Okay.
Yeah. The thing about us as Grenadian generally, the thing is we don't listen. We don't listen and analyze. Like the former caller said, when the Prime Minister speaks, you listen to what the Prime Minister. He don't speak, when he speaks, he don't speak about party, he speaks about the citizens of the country, where he can improve healthcare, where he can improve education, where he can improve agriculture. He don't concentrate on NNP. And the thing I tell a lot of young people, you guys have to learn to listen. Just sit down and listen for once and analyze what is this young man born, bred, grew in Grenada. They say, as the former Prime Minister say, they don't like poor people. Look at where the man came from. He gave his whole history. My family used to traffic too. His mother used to traffic, same way. But he elevated himself from the bottom with respect, discipline, and acceptance for all mankind. And that's what he wants for the young people. That's what he wants for Grenada. So I want Grenadian, please listen, especially young people. Listen, analyze, and see the direction this young man, put aside party, but see what he's telling you, the direction he's taking us to. I mean, we're not rich. We don't produce, like I tell somebody the other day, we don't produce cocoa anymore, but we manufacturing cocoa powder.
Right.
When we didn't have manufacturing. We had endless cocoa. Now we're manufacturing, but we don't have the raw materials to supply even the small population of less than 100,000 people in Grenada, which is crazy. And that's what he's trying to tell you. Build yourself around. Get into something, even though you have to make cocoa balls, and sell, buy a bottle of water, a couple packs of water and sell on the street to elevate yourself. That's what he's saying. So Grenadian, please listen.
Right.
Listen and analyze and rise yourself above what we had in the last 40 years. Please do that. Thank you.
Thank you so much, caller. Appreciate it. We passed that threshold time already, boy. Time, yo. So yes, you want to sum up some of the things that you heard here today and analyze some of the information we had today?
Yes, I want to make a comment, not to go back and forth with one of the callers that indicated that we should not mention the former Prime Minister's name and the Prime Minister doesn't do it. We have to remember the Prime Minister he's the Prime Minister. He's a class act. He's the left hand can't do what the right hand does. The head can't do what the foot does. What the Prime Minister does is what he's been paid to do. Other people that may support the objective of the government, they will take a different angle to get, because you see, it's a team and it's teamwork. Everybody can't do the same thing, otherwise it becomes ineffective and highly inefficient. So my role may just be the role to probably call out on certain things when it's done. And the Prime Minister role is to continue to be that statesman and represent the interests of all involved, the entire country, every sector, every institution, and every individual. Ian Thomas's role is not that. Ian Thomas's role is totally different to that of the Prime Minister, because his mandate, he has a constituency of 120-something thousand people. I doesn't have that. When he speaks, you have to reflect the views of every individual, what is best for every individual. That's not my role. My role is what I'm doing here at this time in my life.
I hear you. My role is to try to get you and a strong, solid member of the NNP to come on debate. That would be a great thing. I'd like to hear the both sides of any argument. But everybody at the platform these days, boy. So. The last thing I want to end with, right? And it's alarming that it's been seen like that. That the role of a media practitioner, a journalist, or someone that's on radio, and a person on the radio is not necessarily a journalist. You could have DJs, you could have radio announcers, you have journalists, you have vloggers, you have all of these different classification of media practitioners. But it seems like media practitioners particularly are held at a higher regard, and I said this before, than that of elected officials. So if I came on this platform here today and I insinuate something that happened that I cannot verify, and I speak to it as if it is fact, and I come out and I talk about it and I put it out in the airwave, and it then turned out to be false, people would look at me as a media practitioner and say, how you could put that out there? That's irresponsible of you to put something out there when you know that is not facts and you didn't get the facts to back it up. So much so that, Django, when I get information, like for instance, someone called me and they said that somebody got squeezed by a machine in True Blue. One person. They was on the scene of the incident. They called me and they told me they saw the person laying there. I said, okay. I called somebody else and tell them, go to the scene and tell me what you see. That's before I put it out there.
Verification, yeah.
And then they had somebody else that was driving in the vicinity that not too far from Hideaway, that was by the SGU. They also went and verified. So I had the person who saw, someone else who saw, but that still wasn't enough for me. I had to get somebody else to see.
Yeah, that's a three-step verification, man.
I have to get it. So I am not going to come out and say, oh, somebody lost their life, and this is crazy because, you don't want to put it out in a way because family involved and all of these things, right? I understand that. I am not going to come out and be irresponsible with the information and put something out there like that. But it seems like politicians don't do that. Politicians could hear something in a rum shop, and they come out and say, well, these are the facts.
They're eating the pets. They're eating the pets.
Yeah, they have no, they don't verify, they don't check, they don't come back
Cross
and
reference,
cross reference, nothing. But I can do that. And I'm not an elected official, by the way. By no stretch of the imagination. I am just an independent person sitting in a studio. In fact, I'm all the way in New York, by the way. In case a lot of people don't know, I'm all the way in New York. But I'm still not irresponsible, right? And I think that there have to be a time and a place where politicians learn to be responsible with their utterance. Don't just say something because it to you in your head it makes political sense, and then you are basically you're hurting someone else. For what? For a lie? Nobody else does that and get away with it besides politicians. It's madness. That needs to stop. Like I can't do it. I wouldn't do it. They shouldn't be able to get away with that.
Remember, politicians play on the emotions of the unsuspecting. So they may hear something that sounds popular.
Yeah.
A lot of people is saying it, and they would just pick on it because they would get that following. And it's a dangerous place. It's a dangerous place.
That's what Trump does do every day. That's what Trump does do.
It's a very dangerous place.
It's scare politics. It is politics. You know what I mean?
But Trump only just about 2 weeks ago, he said, the people of Springfield, somebody said,
Yeah.
As the leader of the free world, somebody say they're eating pets, and that is your whole line.
And that is it. And the man come and talk about it as if it's facts.
Yeah, as if it's facts.
And then you know what happened?
His supporters run with that as if it's facts.
And you know what happened? The Haitians in Springfield, they had to hide because people was
Yeah, because it's to create the whole sensationalism.
Sensationalizing the whole thing. And in the expense of somebody else. So politicians need to come to a point in place in time where they don't do that. Because they don't appreciate that from any other sector of media or platform. Yeah. They need to step up because they are elected. They're supposed to put forth the truth. And that's on both sides, by the way. That's on both sides. Yeah. We should not be objective and say, okay, well, this side do it and this side don't do it. And if this side do it, we don't talk about it. And this side do it. We should talk about it when it exists. Every time it exists. Because it's going to make the politicians step up.
Yes,
step up to the plate. Don't bring no chumpism and this type of BS here. You know what I mean? Speak the truth.
Now, but you see, brother, if the truth doesn't benefit you politically, they are to say.
They don't know what to say.
Because look, we have so many good things happening here. For example, let's look at the burial houses compared to the houses after Janet and after Ivan. That is a good thing. Why the opposition say, let's support it, let's say we could join hands and make it better for all Grenadians? They wouldn't, because it doesn't benefit anything. And even if the supporters are to benefit from the same houses,
right?
They're not interested in helping. But let there be one mistake with one of these houses, and they ain't go hear the end of it. Let somebody call and say, well, I find that house look like you go bring termites in the house, and they will hear something about this termite story.
Yeah, it's a story.
Yeah, just divisive, kind of antagonistic type of politics that is being preached there, man.
Yeah, but that Trumpism kind of politics. Yeah. That is kind of crazy Trumpism. Let me just say this, guy. We're about to wrap, but let me just say this quickly, that if you're looking for a car rental, you could always check Ride Car Rental. We operate all fleet of vehicles, guys. We have cars, SUVs, CRVs. It's available right now at Ride. Yeah, check it out right now. You could call 473-422-1011. Yeah, it's a call Ride. Again, 473-422-1011. Christmas coming, you want a rental? You know where to check. Ride.
Spirit, let's succeed. Every show with a good deed. Together we plant the seed. Ride along.
All right, yeah, man. I had to give that programming note there. And also, I got to say, we have some new programs coming up. We have the top 5. So if you are... you want to be a part of this new program, Top 5, the return of the Top 5, where there's 5, the idea is 5 women, it's a female-only cast, right? And they're going to be talking about things that affect women, right? So, if you want to be a part of the cast, we're open. They have a casting call. You could inbox us and join the team. We welcome you to be a part of the Top 5 women. This is a call to you. Inbox us and let us know if you're interested in becoming a part of the Top 5. Also, I got to tell you quickly, guys, that the folks at All Pro NYC, All Pro is now looking for, they're looking for RN. Are you a registered nurse looking for a cozy and support working environment? Well, you got to check out All Pro. Join the team. They're charming. They're over 150. They have access, or they have availability for a place, a clinic that's looking for people. They have 150 bed long-term care facility, and that's located in Queens, New York. Give All Pro a call. Competitive pay, $58 to $62 an hour. That's in New York, of course. You could call them right now at the number 516-387-4246. That's 516-387-4246. Call All Pro now. Join the team. Competitive pay. It's all about All Pro NY. And I spoke about it earlier, guys. We're going to be launching our new Rum Punch tour with our brand new tuk-tuks. You're going to start seeing it on the street soon. And no matter what, the thing will be nice, all right? So you got a good opportunity for you to take your wife, your boyfriend, your girlfriend, whatever, on a nice romantic tuk-tuk ride. We have Love Under the Stars. We have Grenada History Tour. We have beach hopping, bar hopping tours. It's just, you name it. It's all about ride tuk-tuks. Yeah, all right. So we're back here with Django. Django, final closing words, my brother.
Yes, pay particular attention to the plans, programs, and conversations surrounding the promotion of this government. And I'm speaking to everybody in general here. We have a nation to build. We have a country to build, and let us do it the right way. Let's stay away from the negative talk, the things that would not promote this island, things that is of a bad taste when it comes to the public and the general consumption. We have a young team of individuals that has taken up the responsibility to lead us for the next, that short period, that 5-year period. Let us walk along with them. They're not perfect. And I'm saying, this is the disclaimer here. I'm not paid to say anything I'm saying here. This is just my personal view. They're not perfect. They're young, they're more inexperienced. They're now 2 years experience, 2 years plus experienced. And they're, in my view, they're trying, they're making some missteps along the way. We have the Ministry of Education to reorganize, get it right, make sure and ensure the teachers and all associated and affiliated with the Ministry of Education gets paid and gets paid on time. We have other departments that may not be in perfect state, but let us kind of encourage the young folks to do what they got to do. I believe they mean well. I haven't seen or heard anybody trying to make any mischief as a government minister or a part of the team. I believe they mean well, and we just have to support and guide them where we can so we could have a better Grenada, because Grenada, as we inherited, is not a bad place, but there are some areas that need a lot of fixing. So let us work with the team and let us support Junior's businesses, because I notice this gentleman has quite a lot of businesses that is needed on the island here. And it's kind of futuristic. It's things that we've never seen in the past. It's a new taste, a new flavor, a new feel. It has that kind of Asian type of energy to it. The electric vehicles, the tuk-tuks remind me of Pakistan and these areas, yeah. The eastern places. Let us support where we can share his content. Let us share it, and let us sell Grenada as a proper product. It's going to get better as time goes on, and I believe generally the people of Grenada means good for all of us. Absolutely. So take care, everybody. Have a good evening, and let's build this nation one brick at a time.
Thank you so much, my friend. Yeah, that was Django, my friend. Yeah, man. Oh, Django, you have a new program coming up. You can tell them about the program that you have
we're working on the content, brother, but somebody should have told me editing's so difficult, man.
Yeah, let me tell you, I do it every day, man.
Yeah, but I'm preparing to so I'll be fully ready by the 4th of November. So I'm putting content together, so you just build the archive and you have things that you could share with people, because I want this program to be in such a way that it's you get to see what we see here, because I know most of the viewers may not be here and they may see this place as a paradise, because when we come we visit only the Grand and Serious. So I'll take you around the country to see some of the good things, some of the bad things, some of the ugly things, so, and how we could try to help fix those things. I would shine a spotlight on most of the things that I see here, because I see a lot.
Right, and that's the notification.
Yeah, your notifications will be the name of the
notification.
Yeah.
Yeah, all right. Look out for that.
Lovely, man.
Thank you so much.
All right, take care. Bless, man. Take care, everybody.
Yeah, so my good friend Django there. And again, guys, as we say, we always open the platform for others to come and share their story, whether it be a debate or their perspective or point of view. And that's not limited to political party or affiliation. We open this platform here for everyone. And we encourage people, guys, to speak. Speak, tell us how you feel. And that might come, people might think it's criticizing, but we don't see it as criticizing. We see it as constructive building process, right? That makes us better, bigger, stronger. Because let me tell you this, in everything that I do, I consult people, right? I consult a lot of people. We sit around a table and we talk about it. And half of the people who were sitting around that table, most of the times they don't agree with me half of the times, or more than half of the times. But I like that because I don't want no yes man around me. I don't want no yes man or yes woman around me telling me this, yes, 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 yes. No, that doesn't make a strong leader. And a strong leader, guys, have to understand, in most cases, sometimes in all the cases, that the people around you, your supporting staff, your employees, the people that you associate with, sometimes much, much, much more intelligent, or they are smarter than you. You have to understand that sometimes, in most cases, because you don't want to think that you are at the head and at the helm, and you have to look down on everybody else. I see it from the different perspective. I am at the bottom of the food chain as a leader, as an owner, operator, and I take command from you as the viewers, as my staff. You are in control, all right? So that's how I see things. I see it upside down, a different way, different perspective. Sing that song, sing that song. Sing that song, sing that song. Sing the song, sing the song.
Every show with a good deed. Together we plant the seed. Ride along, join the dance, let's sing the song. From island to island strong, with the host we belong.
All you know the words? All you know the words?
Energy high, heart so bright. Tune in, feel the light. Global love taking flight. Every ride a sheer delight. Making waves across the seas. Love and joy in the breeze. Ride along live if you please. Bringing hope with such ease. Ride along, join the dance, let's sing.
Yeah, we ride along live. And this month, guys, we are approaching, I believe we're going to hit 11 million views this month. We are close like this to hitting 11 million. For the past couple months, we had 10 million, we had 8 million. I think this month we go hit our 11 million viewers for the month, and that is amazing. That's big. That puts us right there next to all the big networks. Don't believe we small and we don't know what we're doing. That put us right next to the CNN of the world. Yeah, man. 11 million? Thank you so much, guys. Thank you for watching. And if you want to reach all this audience, all these people, all these viewers, and you have a business and you want to advertise, let me tell you what you need to do right now.
Or event to the next level? Advertise on Ride Along Live and reach over 10 million viewers worldwide every month. With a global audience tuning in for the latest news, entertainment, and culture, your message will get the exposure it deserves. Don't miss the opportunity to showcase your brand to a diverse and engaged audience. Ride Along Live, where the world watches and your business grows. Contact us today to get started.
To rent a car in Grenada? Welcome to Ride Car Rental, offering efficient, time-saving service with affordable rates and 100% paperless rentals. Whether you're visiting or need a quick ride, we've got you covered. Call now at 473-422-1011 and get behind the wheel today. Ride Car Rental, where convenience meets the road.
Yeah, guys, don't forget, this is available right now. So you got to call All Pro NY. It's a cozy, caring facility in Queens, New York area RN, calling all the RNs. Give them a call right now. And we, in fact, guys, we go as far as we have the owner of All Pro on the line right now. Talk to us briefly. Tell us about this great venture, the cozy care facility in Queens, New York. Tell us about All Pro.
Well, I didn't expect to be put on the spot like that, but since I'm already here, it's a great facility, very, very nice team from HR, nursing managers, great. If you want good rates, you want to be treated with respect, come work for All Pro. All 4 nurses, we are nurses, we represent nurses. Come and work for us. We have great all the city.
All right. They can't see you, but they could hear you.
Thank you.
They can see, but they could hear you. So call All Pro now. The number 516-387-4246. That's 516-387-4246. Come in, work for All Pro. Also, don't forget, guys, that if you want to join the team, the top 5, the top 5, it's a brand new program. Well, it's a reincarnation of the top 5. And if you want to be a part of the cast, you got to know what to do. Inbox us for more information.
Feel the beat, feel the vibe. Amazing host leading the ride. Power to the people, we shine. Giving fans what they need. Caribbean spirit, let's succeed. Every show with a good deed. Together we plant the seed. Ride along, join the dance, let's sing the song. From island to island, strong with the host, we belong.
Yeah, guys, don't forget also that if you're traveling to Grenada, you gotta jump on a JetBlue. Yeah, jump on a JetBlue, guys. Offering the best rates for traveling to Grenada. JetBlue, check them out right now at jetblue.com.
Every ride a sheer delight. Making waves across the seas. Love and joy in the breeze. Riding on live if you please. Bringing hope with such ease. Ride along, join the dance, let's sing the song.
We told you about it, now it is here. The Right Tuk Tuks Excursion. The Right Tuk Tuks Excursion. Grenada branded and ready, guys. Take your husband, your wife, your girlfriend on a tuk tuk ride. Be the first to be a part of this. Give us a call for more information. 422-1011. That's 473-422-1011. Or you could inbox info@ride.gd. Yeah, that's info@ride.gd.
With the host, we belong.
What if you had a choice? A choice of joining a line or a choice of making your purchases online? What would you choose? While you ponder on that, the National Lotteries Authority has provided another purchasing option. All their games are now available online. Yes, Grenadians! From wherever you are, purchase your favorite daily and jackpot type games using any electronic device. Register on the NLA's website at www.nla.gd. Top up your account and enjoy online lottery gaming at your convenience. We're taking shopping comfort up. Several notches. But the choice is yours. Join a line or buy online. NLA, make your dreams come true.
To rent a car in Grenada? Welcome to Ride Car Rental, offering efficient, time-saving service with affordable rates and 100% paperless rentals. Whether you're visiting or need a quick ride, we've got you covered. Call now at 473-422-1011 and get behind the wheel today. Ride Car Rental, where convenience meets the road.
Ride along live.
Once again, thank you guys for watching. Thanks for being a part of our program today. We also want to say happy birthday to Kibbs, our moderator Kibbs. Always doing a great job in keeping the platform safe. Thank you, Kibbs. Happy birthday to you. On behalf of all of our production team here at Ride Along Live, our senior executive producer Lois JJ,
Join
Get on my nerves 100% of the time, but
island to island.
she's the boss, right? Yeah, she's the one that keep the platform going. Big up yourself, Lloyd, JJ, all the moderator team, and you, the viewers. Thank you guys for making us number one. Catch you guys again tomorrow, right along live.
Energy high, heart so bright. Tune in, feel the light. Global love taking flight. Every ride is sheer delight. Making waves across the seas. Love and joy in the breeze. Ride along live if you please. Bringing hope with such ease. Ride along, join the dance. Let's sing the song. From island to island, host, we belong. Energy high, heart so bright. Tune in, feel the light. Global love taking flight. Every ride is sheer delight. Making waves across the seas. Love and joy in the breeze. Ride along live if you please. Bringing hope with such ease. Ride along, join the dance, let's sing the song. From island to island strong, with the host we belong.